11. Shapes. The hotkey is U, and it has multiple tools underneath. They create vector shapes so you can make them as large or as small as you want without losing quality. These have a large role in web design. For example, you can use the rectangle tool to mock up the layout of a web page. Drag multiple objects across the screen that represent the logo, main menu, slideshow, content area, and so on. The color of the shape is dictated by your foreground color. After you've placed it on the canvas, double-click on its thumbnail in the Layers panel to change its color. You can use Ctrl-T to resize it as you want. Plus, you can modify it even further by right-clicking and selecting one of the presented options like Skew, Perspective, Distort, and so on. At the top panel, you have a couple of options through which you can gain even more freedom in creating your shapes. First, you can manually input its width and height by entering a value in pixels in these two boxes. To the right, you have a drop-down that controls the way a shape is added to a canvas. It can be placed into a new layer. It can combine with an existing shape and more. One of the main reasons I love CS6 from the previous versions is the edges around shapes. In CS5, when you made a shape, some lines were fuzzy and you had to correct them manually, and the only way to do that was with zooming in real close and using Ctrl-T. Now that's not a problem anymore with Align Edges. Always have that checked since it makes your shapes very crisp and smooth. The Rounded Rectangle tool is virtually the same as the Rectangle tool, the only difference being the radius you can select at the top of the screen. That controls the shape's roundness. Usually 4 to 5 pixels means a pretty subtle rounded corner, whilst anything over 10 means quite rounded. The Line tool will come useful in a lot of situations. Make sure it's solid, with no stroke, and always see that the weight is set at 1 pixel. If you want bigger lines, you can always use Ctrl-T, or just use the Rectangle tool. Custom shapes are great since they are vector shapes as well. So you can make them as big as life and they will still look good. Even better, there are a lot of free custom shapes on the internet that you can download for free. Make sure you have a nice collection so you can use them in your projects.